Like, our timeline's a complete mess. We don't have any idea when we are, never mind where we are. It's all just a complete jumble, and it seems like the only realistic reason for such a convoluted effort to convince us we're in tribulation and to hide histories is probably to hide Jesus. The prophecy goes in Revelation, once the 1,000 years has expired, the devil's let loose for a short season to gather an army. Okay, so he deceives the whole earth. All the nations get deceived. He gathers an army whose numbers are the sands of the sea, and he convinces them to go and make war with the camp of saints and surround it. Okay, so the only way that could happen is the whole earth is convinced somehow, justifiably, we all need to come together and fight a common enemy of some kind. And we were told, the famous Reagan speech, maybe we need an outside threat to bring us all together as one, how quickly our differences would drop if we were under attack by an alien threat from outer space. You realise the alien agenda's been at play for years in the conspiracy world. What's the end goal of all this constant alien invasion propaganda that we've been inundated with since War of the Worlds, and since that radio broadcast which convinced people to attack the grain towers because they thought the tripods had come, like, it's kind of, they've been pushing it hard, haven't they, on us for a long time to believe space, aliens are coming, and when they come, we'll all need to band together to fight, That's basically every alien invasion story you've ever imagined. Everyone drops their differences and comes together to fight a common enemy. The mothership comes down. It doesn't bring peace. Oh no, let's all come together and attack it. And it's possible that is actually what's going to happen in some way. New Jerusalem, the floating city from heaven, where Christ reigns on his throne, may become visible again in our near future. Maybe it hits the coast of Siberia finally, because it's been moving. The magnetic North Pole has been moving, Maybe this floating giant magnetic thing all of our compasses point to will become visible once it hits the coast of Siberia, and they can't hide it anymore, because eyes literally look up and see this thing now. Look at, what is this? That's what everyone believes, right? The whole earth is indoctrinated with heliocentric, alien, Star Trek, Star Wars propaganda since birth. The only explanation could be aliens have turned up. There's no other explanation to describe such a phenomenon as looking up and seeing an enormous giant cube of some kind coming down, or a pyramid perhaps, who knows what it looks like. If that's the case then, if they're playing that agenda and it really is Christ appearing once more, he never left. He's been here since the millennial reign ended. That's the end game. You think about that story. This god-like entity from space wants to bring balance to the universe. He comes in his, I think it's called Sanctuary, this giant spaceship that turns up, and his aim is to kill half the population in order to bring peace, everlasting peace. All of humanity and superheroes coming together to fight against like a Christ-like, antichrist-like figure, and it's kind of like that's the end game, this final war. A huge war, it's everybody against this one entity who wants to destroy everything. Well, technically, Christ comes to destroy the earth. He comes to bring a new heaven and a new earth, which is a wiping clean of all that's old and a bringing in of the new. You want to wipe clean all that's here currently? Well, you want to take all the power away from these men who rule everything, don't you? That's a bad thing. That's got to be a bad thing, right? We don't want them to come and destroy the earth. We want to, we want to keep it going the way we want it to go. So they've turned good for bad and bad for good. And they'll always leave out the new heaven and earth aspect. But it's kind of this idea that, yeah, Jesus comes to destroy the earth to make it better. But they'll just say, aliens have come to destroy the earth. Everyone quick get together, you don't want to end everything we've worked for, do you? You want to stop the progression of humanity. And it's just, I know I'm weaving a narrative here, but you realise this whole Christ millennial reign thing, the Gog-Magog war, the surrounding of it can all explain why we even have an alien agenda. What would be the point? This explains why we're deceived when he finally inevitably appears again, and they can't hide the fact he's still here anymore. Like, they need a story, they need something to cover it up. Why cover up biblical cosmology and invent the heliocentric model, which is a lie. So space exists, so aliens can exist as a concept, so we can fit it into this. When Christ turns up, people think it's aliens. It's kind of, it all kind of starts answering all this backlog of odd questions, you know, and that question we all get as conspiracy theorists. Oh, why would they lie? This is why. This would explain why. This is the big why. Why any of it? You know, why everything? Why lie about everything? Because they need a false narrative to cover this big deal up. Christ was here for 1,000 years. He'd already ruled and built a perfect world of peace. We're squatting in its remains.